Hey crafty friends, I want to share with you all really quickly a video on how I make some Happy Mail. So the supplies here that I have are, I'm going to do some watercoloring. So I have my watercolors here, I have my brushes, some water. The most important, I have envelopes. You can use any size envelopes. These happen to be 7x5. And the reason why I like to use these is because it gives me a little more area to work with. Now you can use the regular A5 envelopes. Those are perfectly fine too. Then I have some washi tape that I'm going to be using for two purposes, for masking and for decorating. So I'm just going to go ahead and set these supplies aside and get started. So I want to show you guys two samples of what I'm going to work on. So the first one I'm going to work on is going to look like this. This is an envelope that has been masked off with washi tape, and then I've gone ahead and I've used watercolors to make these kind of like a ombre effect of the red, and then started on the purple and blues. But I thought this was really fun, so I'm going to show you guys how to make that one. And then this is something that I got in the mail. This happens to be from Alex, and she's Amiguita Plumita here on Instagram. And this is called sticker bombing. So I want to share with you guys how to do that because it's really fun and it's really easy if you have stickers. So that's another method that we're going to be sharing today. So the first one that I'm going to start with is going to be the watercoloring one. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and open the envelope all the way up. That way this part of the envelope still gets the design. Then with some washi tape, I'm gonna just go ahead and mask off some area just so that I can make some lines and add different types of colors. And this is really easy. I mean, you don't have to measure, you can just eyeball. And then depending how thick you want your stripes to be. I like to make them at kind of like a 1/2 inch. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I like to use this thin washi tape because it makes really nice thin lines. Oops. It's very forgiving, so if you feel like you made a line too thick, you can go ahead and lift it up because it's just washi tape. And just continue to mask it off until the whole envelope is masked off. And what I'm going to do is each stripe is going to be a different color. So I have a few different colors in the palette, and I like to use a lot of colors, so that's what makes it fun. So if you have you can also use paint, like acrylic paint, and it dries really fast. So that's all masked off. I'm just gonna go ahead and lift it and move it this way. Okay, now I'm gonna grab a large brush just so that it makes it easier to cover the area. So I'm going to start with the lightest color of pink. And these colors are kind of very light. So what I would suggest is, these are from the Michaels Selection Arts art section. And what I suggest is that if you want the color to be darker, don't use as much water. Just kind of dry off your brush. So I'm gonna go in with the next color, which happens to be like a darker pink. And I'm just gonna go through all these colors. Now I'm going in with this kind of like a red. Just clearing off the brush a little, going in with this maroon color. This is kind of like a magenta. And there's like no right or wrong way to doing it, just as long as that stripe is not white anymore, you're doing good. And feel free to use any other type of watercolors if you have any other ones. Like I have some Prima ones. I just used this Michaels one because I kind of like the look. It kind of dries off in a like chalky way, and I feel like that's really helpful for when I do stamping. It's kind of nice and like crisp. I feel like it. We're going with this darker purple. I love that. It looks so pretty. That color is very similar to that. And my last color, very bright blue. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside, and okay, that is dry and like nice and crisp. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna start lifting this washi tape, and this is like the fun part. Well, it's the whole part is fun, but this is really intriguing to me, watching how nice and clean those lines are. Kind of reminds me of like when you're painting and you have to lift off the blue tape. Oops, not to worry, I'm gonna listen too. And washi tape is very forgiving and like that. If it doesn't come off from one end, you have the other end to rip it off from. Okay, and there is our envelope. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do next is I am gonna go ahead and stamp the recipient's name on it. So I have this funky stamp set that I recently purchased that I want to use. I think this would be really cool. Now I like to stamp in black ink just because there is a lot of color going on there, and I think it's better in black ink. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm actually gonna go ahead and spell stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect. Because if we wanted perfect, we could just go and buy it perfect. But we're making handmade. I'm thinking to myself, can we do the whole name? I think we can. Let's just start with this part. So I'm gonna go ahead and ink this up. I like to use VersaFine Black Onyx ink. I think it stamps really nice and crisp and black. Now her name's kind of long, so I'm gonna go ahead and stamp it over here. Press down. Make sure that everything is perfect impression. I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and ink the other side. And try to get it in there. Perfect. Okay, now I just need a knee. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the stamps back in place. So that I'm just left with that E. This is a fun way to use your alphabet stamps. You can always stamp people's names. If you have smaller stamps, you can even stamp the whole address. That could be a little tedious to do, but the finished product is always so amazing. Okay, so then I have that E link, and I'm gonna go ahead and stamp it, and I get it in place. There it goes. Stephanie, perfect. Now, since I have all this colorful background, I am gonna go ahead and maybe stamp some other items in here. So I always on my desk like to have a few stamp sets. So the first one that I have, or the two that I have right now, are actually, let's do this one. Can you see? It's like a little like someone writing, so that's perfect for this. Now for some reason when I stamp that, I get like a little bit of ink there, and I'm just gonna take my stamping cloth, just clean that, just so that I can get like that clean stamping now. So let me get a little angle here. Stamp. There we go. That came out nice except for that, but that's okay. Now I have these two other stamps that I really like. I have the little journal, working on your journal, or working on the computer and on your planner. So I think I'm going to do the journal one just because I feel like that kind of looks like a Hobonichi or something. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and get it nice and inked up and juicy. Make sure that everything's on it. Again, for some reason, I get a little bit of ink on this corner. Just take your stamp rag and go ahead and wipe that clean without clearing any other ink. Oh, there's some on this side too. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on this corner. Make sure you give it some good pressure. And we get a really crisp image. I love that. Okay, perfect. I also have, oops, I reached in here for something. This eyelash stamp, and I think it's the cutest, so I'm definitely gonna go ahead and use that. And the first time that I used this stamp, it kind of didn't stamp as crisp as I wanted it to, so I'm gonna make sure that it's very nice and inked. Sorry. And I'm gonna go ahead and stamp it like right here. Oh, that came out really perfect, actually. And I have some space down here, so let's go ahead and fill it with something. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my sticker book, and let's see what images I can fill it with. First ones are kind of just, oh, we can use a moon. The moon's really cute. Let's go ahead and use a moon. Oh, let's put this moon here. And I have some roses. I think I'm gonna use this bunch of roses right here. Should I put that here? Yeah, I'll put that there. Oh, now I have some butterflies. I think I'm gonna use this butterfly. Use a small butterfly. Have it going the opposite way. Let's see what other stickers we have. These are cute. Maybe we can use one of these. Okay, and let's see if we have any other ones that we can fit in. I'll go ahead and use this one. Put it right here. I wish I had space to put some of these on. Just going through my stickers. Oh, we have some fun stickers. Will this one fit in there? Maybe this one. Perfect. Okay. So I'm just gonna put like a little word sticker there. I'm just gonna put this one up. I never want to forget. You know what? That one's too big. Let's do. Be adventurous. There. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave this little area open so I can put a stamps. They might cover my boba, so that's okay. So that's the end of one of my envelopes. Not too bad. Then the way that I'll do it is on the back, that's where I'll put the information. I usually like to put my address, my return address on this side, and then their address here. So maybe I'll put maybe I can fill this area then. Let me find another sticker then, because I'm not going to put the stamp here. Just realized. So let's go back to my stickers. Let's see. I just need one more. How about a camera? Let's use this one. Perfect. So this envelope is done. It's ready to go. Now, the next envelope that I want to make, let me grab one fresh envelope. It's going to be that sticker bomb envelope. More stickers. Oh no, I got this one dirty. Let me get another one. Let me wipe down the desk with my little stamp rag just to make sure. The next one that I want to make is one that I feel like is very fun for me to make just because it involves a lot of items that I like. So for this item, I'm gonna be using music sheets, note sheets. So this is one from Stevie Wonder, and it was only 98 cents at the thrift store. So what I like about this is that it has a very like brownish color, kind of making it look vintage, and music notes. So what I like to do is just go through it and just like rip out a page. In this case, I'm gonna just rip this page out. And I'm sorry, music lovers, but I'm upcycling. And what I like to do is I like to turn it on the side that has the music notes and start ripping it, because I feel like ripping it gives it a really nice cool effect. Okay, I'm also going to rip off this little side here. Okay, that's good enough. And then I'm going to go ahead and kind of measure to fill in the envelope or give it like a layer. So like I'm gonna put it up there. I'm gonna rip here, and then I'm gonna rip across. And it doesn't have to be perfect, so that's perfect. It just has to be. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take my tape runner or adhesive. You can use any type of adhesive. You can use glue stick, you can use glue, you can use like double-sided tape. I'm just using my HG gun because it's easier for me to do it like this. And just lay it down. So now we have our first layer. Now what I like to do next is start layering it down with stickers. Now I do have some label stickers that I want to use, but I'm looking for more colors that match this. So I'm thinking these might be a little too bright, but I kind of like these neutrals. I only like that one. So let's go ahead and use these two. So I'm just gonna put 2 stickers. So let's go ahead and use this one. I'm gonna put it up here. And then I'm gonna use this darker brown one. I'm gonna put this one down here. And what I like to do is to mirror things. So if I'm doing something on this corner, I'm probably going to be doing something on this corner as well. That way your eyes kind of bounce from one end to the other. I don't know if that makes sense. And then what I like to do is, now I have these word stickers. So now I'm going to be filling in like this area with word stickers. So I like these by Heidi Swapp. So I'm going to use these. I'm gonna use this one. You are crazy wonderful. And then life is on your side. And then I would really like to add like one big label. I'm gonna use this dark one. I don't know if it's black or green. I think it's like dark green. And I'm gonna put that in the center, and that's where I'll write the address. Now on this end, I'm gonna go ahead and do some stamping. It does give me that like that vintagey vibes. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp something that's vintagey. I have this mermaid stamp, and I think this would go really well with that. So with these stamps, you want to go ahead and ink them up differently. You want to make sure that it's all nice and juicy. Be generous so that every inch of this stamp is coated with ink. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and take some sticky notes. And what I'm gonna do with the sticky notes is I'm gonna go ahead and block off the areas that I don't want to be stamped. So I got my sticky notes here. So I don't want the stamp to touch that. And I also don't want the stamp to touch that. But it's cool to go anywhere else. So here it goes. For this big stamp, I like to get up and give it some pressure. Okay, I think it's ready to be lifted. There we go. That came out really well. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the stamp off. Oh, we could have actually let it go. I didn't realize that. But it came out pretty nice. And there you have it. You have a little envelope that's ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and do put my stamps on, because I feel like that's gonna give it a more finished look. These are the type of stamps that I have. Every time I go to the post office, I ask the post office worker, can I see the stamps that you have? And usually they pull out an envelope and they let you go through the stamps that they have. So these are the ones that I've picked up over the last few months. Sesame Street, Star Wars droids, these mystery messages, these Japanese American soldiers from World War II, and some American Gardens. Now, I kind of like to have different stamps on hand because sometimes my envelopes are different kinds. Like this one, it's more of a vintagey kind, so I'm gonna try to do, I think my World War II soldier will go really well, or maybe the droids, but I think the World War soldier will go best. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a stamp on there. And for this type of envelope, you only need one stamp. And if you're sending a card, you only need one stamp. If it's going to be a little bit bulkier, then go ahead and add a second one, but this one should be good like that. And there you have it. This is the second envelope. Now let's work on another envelope. This one's going to be fun because this one we're just going to sticker bomb it. Now, again, what I like to do is go in with stickers. So I'm gonna go in with these. Now what I want to do is I do want to go ahead and I have some other stickers here, and I want to write the person's name with stickers. I think that's going to give it a really nice effect. So I'm just going to go ahead and rip this out of here, and we're going to use those. I feel like these are kind of going to go with our little Halloween theme. Now for this one, let's see. Let me look at my book to see who I haven't sent Happy Mail to and who I'm going to send this to, so I can have an idea. Okay, I know who I'm going to send this to. So I'm going to send this to my friend Abe, and his name is really easy, so it makes me feel like I should use bigger font, but this should be fine. I'm using my tweezers because sometimes using tweezers for these tiny alphabets works really well. Oops. Abe. Okay. And then I have this sticker book that I bought. Now I'm going to be using these 2 pages. So I'm just going to rip them out. And I have this page and I have this page. I want to start with this page because this is really cool. And I actually want to use this big one. And the point of this one is just layering down the stickers, like wherever they look fine. Honestly, these, I'm just going to place them exactly where they placed them, because that just makes it easier for like a scene to be set up, if that makes sense. So this one seems to be a little bit higher up here, so there's that. And then there's one like right close to it, so I'll put it down here. And then there's this pumpkin. And then there's 2 more. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use this one and put him right here. I'm gonna put the cemetery door over here. And use a little ghost. Okay, I'm gonna use some bats. And this is a really fun part because you actually get to use up your stickers that you have in your stash, stickers that you bought. More bats here. And I'm gonna actually start using some of these. Take Spooky. Trick or treat. Start using some of these owls. And again, the address is going to go on the back, so let's go ahead and use up all the stickers. Oh, I actually want to lift the sticker up. And these stickers are very forgiving for doing that. They will lift up. Let's put this baby down here. this one over here. And now, when you feel like you've already run out of space, try to fill in the bigger areas. And I don't know if you notice in this sheet, there's a lot of little ones, like the bones, the candy cones, and the stars. Those are all stickers. So now I'm going to go in and fill like these tiny areas with those type of stickers. Now, there's some areas that, like this area, you can put a sticker there because that's pretty small. So let's try to fill out those areas first. Like right here, I can use this little and then over here, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting, I am gonna use a bone. And start using like those kind of canes. Okay, we're almost finished with this one. And I think that's pretty much good. And then again, this one, you would just put the address on the back. And put your stamp on the back too. And there you have it. So today we were able to make this envelope, and this envelope. So now you have 3 different types of envelopes that you can make. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see more videos of Happy Mail. I definitely love making them. I feel like I'm constantly like changing up the style of them. And if there's anything else that you would like to see from me, just please leave it in the comments.